7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome
Bam.
to Interfleet Broadcasting.
Shazbot.
There you go, baby. I'm New York Pete. That's my buddy, the Tipsy Toaster. And thanks for joining us on our news, pop culture, sci-fi entertainment channel. Full disclosure, Chris and I grew up watching 70s, 80s TV movies and cartoons. We bring you our unique spin to our little corner of the universe. And everyone needs to know up front that we are big Battlestar Galactica fans. And there you have it.
No, we're not.
No, we're not big. We're super fans. There you go. All right.
We're super fans.
Super fans.
We're
like
Galacta Nuts.
Yes, we are.
Galactica Nuts or Galacta Nuts.
Yeah. Okay. You make the best of that one. I am trying to locate data and information that's being sent over to us. I just, let's see. I think I'm going to try to locate stuff that was sent to us, Colin. You sent it. I'm not sure where, but I will do my best to try to find it.
Just what did he send to us? That's the question.
Oh, he sent information and pertinent data. However, welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in. So Trey, Clay, Eric, Colin, Paul, of course, George G in the house, and Mike DeBrun. How are you, Mike? Let's see. And Rob Baum. Oh, outstanding, Rob. Thanks for joining us.
Paul?
So very, very cool.
Did you say Paul? I didn't hear you say Paul. Paul's over there on the YouTube channel, all by himself.
Yes, Paul. Paul is there.
Everybody else is on Facebook. But Paul's over there on YouTube.
Thank you for... And Chuck's up too. Chuck's here as well. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Doesn't matter if you're on YouTube or not.
It doesn't matter if you're YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I think that's all of them. There's 4 of them.
I look like it froze. That's 4 of them. Okay.
Oh, we got 2 Facebooks. Actually, we got 3 Facebooks. I record the backup on the Stranded Warrior just in case. Because we had a problem with Restream a while back, and that knocked us off of the other thing. So I haven't hit the record button yet. So if we start to get problems, then I'll hit the record button. Then we'll just record locally, and you can catch us on Memorex. Is it live or is it Memorex?
Hey, Colin, why don't you send over what you wrote up on info@interfleetbroadcasting.com, and I'll be able to pull it up real quick. So if you get a chance to do that instead. However, welcome everyone to the show. Tonight we have none other than Mr. Gaska, and we're going to also have Team BSG Viper is going to go live with us. They're going to show us the Viper, and that's going to be cool. So Karl Kullenschmidt's going to be on. I'm hoping that George will be with them as well, George Mellis. So that'll be on towards the end of the show. But in between, we have a lot of updates for you. There's a lot of things to discuss, and we're going to break down the Stranded Warrior and the ongoing campaign. So we're going to break that down, let you know how that's going. And in the meantime, Tipsy, we're going to...
I was just looking at the some of the text coming through here. It was... what was it?
Chris Laskowski's with us.
Yep.
Chris, welcome. Good day to you from down under. Hey, Chris Tucker, what's up, man? How are you? Thanks for joining us live.
Paul switched over to Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to do that, Paul. It's okay. You know, somebody has to be out there by himself.
Yes.
Commander Kane is all out there by himself anyways. I mean,
no, he's not. He's the best.
Little atomized particles out there because he's...
No, you don't know that. You don't know that.
He's dead.
No, he's not. Anyway,
He's dead.
bottom line is that Dragon Con, we're going to meet up with Paul and everyone else that's actually heading down to Dragon Con later this year. In the meantime, we'll be going to Awesome Con as well. We're going to be attending the non-sports card convention on Saturday. That it's May, and so Saturday we will be there doing interviews, covering that convention. We're gonna have a lot of exclusives. So hey, Karl, all right, Karl's in the house. Very good.
Colin says he owns land in Wyoming. So, Colin, I'm from Wyoming, and I had to pay the light bill last time, so it's your turn now. Right? There's only a few of us, and it's got to be your turn by now because I paid it last month.
Does that mean there's like 5 of you? Is that it? He says, yes, I know.
5? Wow. That's probably twice as many as there are.
Is that why when you come to New York City, your eyes are all like this big?
Oh yeah. Well, hey, when I came from Wyoming and enlisted in the Navy and went to San Diego, that was a culture shock. It really was. I was like, whoa. There's a lot of people here.
Kane did resurface on the Maximum Press Resurrection of Galactica. Missed those days too, Rob.
No,
Thank you for that.
That was he was a Cylon. He was
no,
recreated.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. And tonight, super fan.
Wait! I got this. I did this the other day. I have to do it now. Cylons rule. Cylons rule.
All right. So Chris found a button.
Cylons rule. What? You don't like my Cylons rule button?
Oh my God. Okay. Moving on.
All right. Yeah, let's do the beer thing.
Let's do the beer thing.
All right. I'll read it, Pete, and you display it. Superfan Fran has given us more money to get more beer. So we have tonight the Brooklyn Brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Brooklyn Brewery. Actually, is it in Brooklyn? Yep, Brooklyn, New York. And Utica. UTICA. Is that Utica? Utica, New York? Utica? Yeah, whatever.
I'm looking.
So, anyways, it is Brooklyn Brewery limited release Black Chocolate Stout. Imperial Stout, 10% alcohol by volume. That's right.
It's Brooklyn and Utica, so they cover upstate as well.
Upstate as well. So this is an independent brewery, independent craft brewery, and we're going to give it a shot tonight. I am a big stout kind of guy, so hopefully this beer is chewy enough for me. We'll find out. And
George, ready? You should stay in Cylon voice all night. All right, ready?
Cylons rule. All right, ready? One,
2, 3.
Ooh, it smells good.
All right.
Who needs to drink it? We just snort it.
Through your nose.
Woo!
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Ready?
Wait, what drink cup do you have tonight?
Oh. I have my here, watch.
Don't miss. Don't miss.
Thank you to Andy. Andy Anderson, thank you very much.
Mine's a special one tonight. Anybody recognize that?
Whoa.
This is one of the Universal Rides classes. These are very hard to come by. Oops, dropped it. Just kidding.
Nice.
I would have a heart attack because they're not cheap. All right, ready?
All right, let's do it.
One. I haven't even started drinking yet.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Go.
Close.
All right, let's pour it. Yeah.
Oh, you know it's a good stout when it doesn't foam up too much. Look at that darkness on that thing. Yeah. Stop. There we go. Ooh. You know what even makes it better? It blacks out the Cylon. Look at that. That's perfect.
Boy.
And look,
Okay.
it's a Viper getting shot down. It's perfect.
It's actually not getting shot down, but all right.
Yeah, what do you call this thing here? It's like, is it like the colonial helmet brain or something falling out of there or something?
Oh, you can't see the... Can't see the stormtrooper from within the glass. Got to turn around so you guys can see the stormtrooper.
That's because you missed. But as we saw this week, and I put out on the Tipsy Toaster channel, Cylons don't miss.
Oh yeah, you got plenty of.
I got some hate mail for that.
Yeah, you got hate mail for that.
I'm like, geez, guys, come on.
Oh boy.
All right. So, anyways,
right.
thanks for being here. We are always appreciative to the fans and the people who actually go out there and do things for the fandoms, whether it be Battlestar Galactica or any of the other ones that are out there. I won't mention all of them because we just don't have that much time. And Pete's getting ready to drink his anyways because he's very impatient because it must smell really good to him. It does smell good though. So anyways, Pete, what do we always say?
We say fans fuel the fleet. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us now and later. Okay, never mind. Okay, very good. And here you go.
Here's the fleet.
Cheers to you guys. Wow. Hey, Sean, what's up, man?
That's almost chewy enough. That's a
wow.
Yeah, that's a good chewy.
Oh wow.
That's really chewy. I need like 4 of these actually tonight, but
yeah, there's heavy chocolate and mocha. So that's
no coffee
nice.
taste. Thank God. I'm not a big coffee.
No, it does have a little bit of at the end there. It has a little bit of a coffee.
Dude, there's one. I don't know if it's part of the ones I gave you, but I tried one. Oh, the nastiest beer I ever drank in my life. So we'll see if it stacks up to it's I don't know, it's cock-a-doodle-doo or something like that, coffee stout or something. It's
that'll be the next one. That's the next one we'll do. Okay, good. We're doing that next.
You can stack that one up against your, what was it, 6-year-old Vulcan ale that I made you drink.
Oh no, that was I almost upchucked at the end because in the beginning it was slightly okay, but then at the end it was no way. It was bad. It was totally bad. That rancid.
That's good stuff.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
A deep subject for shallow minds.
Later, thank you. We have a lot going on during the show.
We know that Mike doesn't like chocolate beer, evidently.
No, Mike does not. Mike, as a matter of fact, you know what?
But Mike, I think you must be drinking it wrong if that's where it hurts. Wrong hole, Mike. Wrong hole. This drink here, not down there.
Trust me, Mike. Mike is well experienced. He knows how to handle his.
He knows which hole it goes in.
He knows. Trust me, he knows.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes, he does.
That's important.
No. Mike knows. All right. So, guys, we wanted to, thank everyone that's been backing the Stranded Warrior.
Let's take a look. Hang on. Let me pull that up. Let's see where we're at.
7% funded. We have 5 Colonial Warriors First Class, 1 Cadet Warrior, 3 Council Security, 1 Prison Barge Guard, 3 Crew Chiefs, 1 Flight Cadet, 2 Bridge Officers, and 1 Lieutenant. You know who you are, guys. Thank you very, very much.
Yep.
And
if you didn't have a chance to read these, just read them. They're fun. I mean, even if you don't donate and you go ahead and share it out or all your family and friends and get them to give us at least $20 or so. But go through a read there. We worked hard on those. I mean, you get to read some of the stuff like there aren't any Daggets on board, but as a Colonial Warrior First Level, you can download a digital copy of the film to watch while they are building you a new Daggett. Also, be proud that you are on your way to warrior status by having your name displayed in the screen credits. I mean, we had fun with these. And yet, Cadet Warrior, congratulations, you made it through Colonial Warrior Academy. Now you're just waiting on a designation. Perhaps you will get pilot, but more than likely engineering or service job. But you're making a difference. Yeah, everything from a previous perk plus PDF and final script. So we went through each one of these and
that, guys.
Yeah.
So do
being a pilot. Council Security is my favorite one though.
Chris, hold on.
What?
Chris, what? Take a look and see if our guest is on.
Cylons rule. What? I was having fun, and you stopped me, just like the Colonials. Yes, Mr. Gaska is in the wings. I see him.
He's in the green room. Excellent. So we can revisit. How about we go back to that later? Is that going to be okay, Mr. Tipsy
Cylons
Toaster?
rule.
No
What's my other
comment.
one say? Hang on. What's this one?
Control yourself, my
There we
friend. You blow a circuit, or I believe you call it a blood vessel.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
They live. They live.
We
Okay,
live.
Well,
All right. So, anyways, okay, we're gonna jump over that and do that. You're gonna have to give me a minute. So,
conspiracy.
Pete, stretch
of
it,
the
man. Stretch
planet
it. Stretch it.
of
Talk.
The
Yeah, do an
apes.
introduction. Here we go. There you go, Pete. Do an introduction.
Yes. All right. Well,
Meanwhile, I'll fix
for those
things.
of you, that are not 100% familiar with Andrew E.C. Gaska, he's an author, digital artist, producer, director. I met him in person at New York Comic Con back, I think it was 2011, when Conspiracy of the Planet of the Apes was released. And he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I met him. He autographed the book. We talked a little bit about Planet of the Apes. And for over 10 years, he served as a freelance consultant for Rockstar Games on such hit titles as Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption,
Ooh, Red
the
Dead
Midnight
Redemption.
Club series, and all other major releases. He is the producer of the zombie horror flick Dead End and the owner of the new Scream Queens Illustrated. He is the founder and creative director of Blam Ventures, a guerrilla design studio that produces print, film, and digital media for comic books, horror, and sci-fi industry. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Drew's science fiction comic epic Critical Millennium 2010 to 2011 is published by Archaea Entertainment. He's the author and director of the Space 1999-2011 Revival digital media and graphic novel series, continuing the legacy the show started in the early 70s, as well as the creative force behind the Blam Comics anthology graphic album series. His novel, Conspiracy of the Planet of the Apes, 2011, is illustrated by over 30 top-name artists in the entertainment industry, including Jim Steranko, Dave Dorman, Ken Kelly, Baron Story, and a lot more. We also know that Mr. Gaska also has worked on other major franchises, including Buck Rogers, Alien.
Yay!
Oh, yeah. And there's some movie stuff as well. There's movie credits to his name, which include The Monkey King. And that should be familiar to a lot of you because we had Michael Werhan, who is executive producer / producer on the Monkey King movies, was on our show way back when, in our first year. So 2 years ago, almost 3 now, right? 2.5 or so. Michael Werhan was here talking about the Monkey King. And so now we have Mr.
All right,
Gaska,
we're set
who's
now.
involved. Excellent. All
Ready?
right.
Let me bring you
Yeah.
on.
Let's do this.
All right. Hopefully I turn his audio on.
Hey, Mr. Gaska, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, his audio works. We're good.
Wow, that was like an ancient bio.
You've done so much more since then.
Ridiculous. Was that in Back of Conspiracy? Because that's like a 13-year-old bio.
Wow.
It's on your IMDb Pro.
Well, that needs to get changed because that's really embarrassing. Okay.
Actually,
no,
to be honest, it's not, because it's the fundamentals of your background, of where you came from, and now you'll bring it up to speed, but at least everybody will get a feel for where you're coming from. So I think you should never be ashamed of some of these things that you've done are exactly the things that we love, and so you're just going to add to it. So it's I know that you went to SVA. As a matter of fact, I went to SVA as well. So
that's
we
awesome.
got that in common. So yeah. And I met you at New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed you at Dragon Con. I came to your table and missed you.
Yep. No, I remember. That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, there's since then, there's been a sequel to Conspiracy that came out called Death of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
Yes.
I wrote a story in the Planet of the Apes anthology book. I was the franchise consultant to 20th Century Studios on Planet of the Apes, Alien, and Predator for several years. I the writer of the Alien role playing game, which has won
Yes.
8 or 9 awards, and the Terminator role playing game. And so yeah, so I'm like listening to these things. Wait a minute, where's this bio from? Um, yeah, it's all these things that don't get mentioned anymore. But yeah, no, and also I've done 2 graphic novels for Choose Your Own Adventure. So
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, those are cool. I remember that back in the day.
so yeah, so yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. And like I said, you really threw me off with that bio, but okay.
There's,
So
in that
I'm thankful.
bio, there's some really, really cool franchises. I mean, for me personally, Red Dead Redemption, and of course, I know that you've worked on the Buck Rogers stuff and the awards on some of the games, the Aliens, and I mean, Space 1999. These are all things that we've been talking about on our show, so we love all of these things that you worked on. And
Cool.
bring us up to speed. I'm sure there's something that's working now currently. What are you up to?
Well, I'm still working on Alien. We just had a new book adventure come out, Heart of Darkness, in November, and there's There's a couple of new things coming out this year. Um, I I just did a whole bunch of Terminator stuff, and there's stuff I'm working on now that I really can't mention at the moment. Um,
Aw.
yeah, no, I mean,
No
I can
NDA.
mention it. Yeah, well, we can do that in a month if you want to have me back. I'll be able to talk about the stuff that we haven't press released yet. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of work in the gaming community, mostly tabletop role playing games now. Still
Oh,
working on doing stuff with Disney properties because Alien and Predator and Planet Apes are all Disney now. Um,
Ugh.
which
oh, wow.
which most people don't realize, which is interesting. Um, yeah, so yeah, I've been doing a lot of work in role playing because apparently, I did this stuff for fun since I was like 11 years old, and didn't think I'd be writing role playing game stuff, but apparently I'm doing something right because people are acknowledging that it's good stuff. So
So what
it's
kind of role playing games did you do? Just Dungeons and
Alien.
Dragons, or
No, Alien.
I mean,
and
when you were growing
Terminator.
up? Yeah.
Oh, when I grew up,
Yeah.
yes. Dungeons and Dragons, West End game, Star Wars game, the Phasma Star Trek game, BattleTech, Robotech. Um, yeah, those are the
Classic.
main ones.
Yeah. My
Oh,
big
yeah.
ones were all the Avalon Hill games.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
played what-
Wait, what? I remember the company. What are they known for?
Starship Troopers, Luftwaffe, Bismarck,
Okay.
uh,
A lot of the World War
Patrol-
II
Yeah,
stuff.
the World War II stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
okay.
Battle of Creed, I think, is another
Yep.
famous one that they did.
One of the games that I'm working on, that came out last year, is Carbon Gray. It's a alternate World War One with magic.
Ooh.
So it's like a diesel punk version of World War One, and it's based off a graphic novel that came out a decade ago. But it uses the same rule system that West End Games did back in the '80s for their Star Wars game. So we're doing that's over at Magnetic Press. We're doing a bunch of projects that use that old rule system because it's kind of the grandfather of modern gaming. There's a lot of things that were introduced in that modern games have streamlined and are using with today's mechanics. So it's an interesting system. I don't know if you guys ever played that Star Wars game or not, or you're into Star Wars.
Did not play the game, but one thing when you said that kind of popped into my head was the Milton Bradley games, the Shogun, Fortress America, Axis and Allies. There was also some of the some of the games that I indulged in as well, besides the other ones. So I'm not sure if that's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. I mean, I didn't own any of that stuff, but I definitely have played some of that stuff when I was younger with friends. You know, it's I just role playing is just a great place for the imagination, I think, and gaming and strategy and all that stuff. It's just it gets you thinking. It's not just messing around. It's probably why I got beat up in high school for all that stuff.
All right, a fellow guy that got beat up. Yay! And I grew up in Wyoming. It was hard to get beat up there because there just wasn't that many people.
I grew up in Queens, in New York, so I got beat up.
So you're up there with New York Pete then.
That's right. Yep, that's right. Now, so what if I know that Blam is one of your companies, and that through Blam you've actually been able to do work with some of the franchises that I mentioned earlier. What's one that you'd like to get your hands on?
I mean, that I'd like to get my hands on. I mean, it seems obvious, but Star Trek. You know, I'm a big fan of all the eras of Star Trek. I know this is controversy about the new Star Trek, so some people don't like it. But I remember when people didn't like Next Generation also. Yep. I was going to conventions back then, and people were boycotting, you know, the Data and Picard and stuff like that, just like they do with the new stuff now. People don't seem to like change, but things have to change. So I love Kirk. I love the new stuff with Pike. I love the Picard show. I love it all. I'd love to be part of that universe. So.
Outstanding. What if we threw Battlestar Galactica at you?
Battlestar Galactica is a weird thing for me because I've almost done stuff for Battlestar Galactica many, many times. It's one of my favorite shows. I love both incarnations of it. I was very close friend with Richard Hatch before he passed away. I actually spoke at. Actually, Michael was friends with Richard also. I don't know if you guys knew that. Michael,
yes.
Yeah. We used to go on the Richard Hatch cruises with him, and both of us spoke at his wakes. One of them was on the Universal lot, and it was a very interesting situation because I'm there, and I had never met any of the actors from the new Battlestar show, and Mary McDonald comes up to me and she goes, "I'm Mary. Who are you?" And I say, "Oh, I'm Richard's friend Drew." And she's like, "Oh, you're Drew." And apparently Richard had told stories about me to these people, which were probably the most embarrassing wrong stories that anyone could have. But you know, it was good to find out. Oh, he was talking about me to his other friends. So he's like, you know, you realize, you know, this guy who is a celebrity, and really, you're actually really work close with him. You know. But yeah, I would love to work on Battlestar. We came so close so many times, but it's just things don't always align, unfortunately, between studios and creatives. So we were unfortunately unable to get somewhere. I would love to do it, absolutely.
It's something that needs to come back out, I guess. I mean, it's hard. I know that there is a role-playing game for the new Battlestar Galactica. It's pretty good, but I'd love to see a role-playing game for the old one.
Maybe like a special edition, but that would be
especially
really,
since
really
the 45th
cool.
year, the 45th anniversary this year.
I mean, the new Battlestar Galactica isn't really all that new anymore.
Yeah, I know. Well, I keep saying new. It should. I guess we.
Reimagine that.
Back in my day, in 2004, we used to watch Battlestar Galactica on the shag carpet, and you know, and eat Tostitos.
That was 20 years ago, sir.
Good Lord! Really?
Yeah. True.
Wow.
True. Unbelievable.
That's good Lord. That's right.
Yeah.
It's almost 20 years ago.
You want to hear something that's really going to make you feel old?
Oh.
next year is the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, where's my walker? Anybody see my walker?
Not there
my
yet.
Gosh.
Not there
I
yet.
should be in the home already, you know?
Jar Jar is 25.
Jar Jar rules. Jar Jar rules. Jar Jar rules. Jar Jar. He was the best character in all of Star Wars.
All right, I'm off this show.
Right, I just bought Pete a bunch of stuff for Christmas that's all Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Just because he's a big Star Wars fan, and I like to tease him.
In 20 years, this will be a collector's item. Thanks.
Yeah. It'll be worth 50 more cents than it was when I bought it.
In 20 years, that thing will be 45 years old.
Oh my God, that's insane. However,
oh my gosh,
Drew, tell us a little bit about working on the Monkey King, and this I believe is the second one came out just last year, or at least released here domestically. Is that correct?
I believe so. I actually I worked on the first one. Basically, Michael had hired my studio to do the storyboards. For several sequences. So Blam had done the storyboards. That's where my connection was, because I knew Michael through Richard, and they needed some stuff done, so I worked on that.
Wow.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Storyboards scare the snot out of me because I can't draw anything but stick figures.
Well, it's so I went to art school of visual arts, and while I was there, I started to realize what I was seeing in my head I wasn't getting out of my hand anymore. But Denny O'Neil, who was in charge of Batman for 15 years, you guys know who I'm talking about, Denny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
He was my comics writing teacher, and he thought that I should go into writing instead. And so I went that direction, but I had great teachers when I was there. And one of my layout teacher was Carmine Infantino, who created the Flash and Batgirl.
Right.
And so like when I was working with my storyboard artists, I would basically, do the layouts, and then they would make it look pretty, because I can make things sound pretty when you read them, but I can't make it look as pretty with the pencil anymore. So, but yeah, so it was a collaborative effort, and we worked on that. And and we did work for a possible video game pitch for that as well. And I don't know what happened with that.
I remember he was talking about that when he was on last time. Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as we know, he's going to circle back. Michael will, hopefully. He owes us another stop in. So hopefully he's out there doing his thing, and we look forward to seeing Michael back. I know that he's probably just busy flying back and forth between Hong Kong, and I don't know. Are you in touch with him at all, Drew?
No, I've actually been out of touch for a few years with him, but he was always flying back and forth from there, so it's got to be tiring,
Oh, I'm sure.
I wonder at what point does it make more sense just to move someplace instead?
Oh yeah,
right. Which has happened. We've interviewed some of the special effects specialists, that engineers that ended up moving to Singapore just because the work is there and working on projects, and that's what they did. So they ended up uprooting.
Do you guys know Lee Stringer? Is that who you're talking about?
We interviewed him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we interviewed him. Yeah, he came.
What a great guy.
Lee for many years. Yeah.
Great guy.
If you're gonna if you wind up with Michael on, I'd love to be on with him too, even as a surprise guest, just to throw him to see me on with him.
Oh, we could probably arrange that. Yeah. Have some fun. I mean, that's always the great thing, is you can start telling stories about each other behind you. Hey, you remember that time that you drank?
Exactly.
Hey, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll just sit back and watch.
He's definitely got stuff he can say about me. That's for sure.
So now, are you sure you want to come on with him?
Yeah, actually, I think so. I think because it'll become raising the threat level. Oh, you're going to tell that story? Well, I'll tell this one.
Well, that'd be great. Just sit back and let you guys do the story battle. Let's get ready to rumble. Oh, we got some questions coming in.
Okay.
Yep. Drew, is there going to be another Critical Millennium coming out?
So
Can you say that?
There's actually a new edition in the works right now of the graphic novel, an expanded edition, and a role-playing game is going to go along with it. I can't give too many details yet, but assuming that does well, then yes, there will be more Critical Millennium.
And along those lines, what about the Buck Rogers Rings of Saturn?
So I'm hoping we can find a way to get the second 2 books from that out. It's a long story dealing with licensing that I really can't.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I bet.
It's just there was a whole rights fiasco with Buck Rogers, where who actually owned it was going back and forth, and those books had to get put on hold because of that.
Wow.
So the second one is written. The third one is, I would say, 65 to 75% written. I would love to find a way to get them to come out at some point. So, because
who do we need to talk to?
Whoever holds the rights right now.
I don't even know who does hold the rights anymore. I mean, rights change so much.
Yep.
I mean, the Fall Guy just got sold out for a movie, and they're filming that right now. So,
really? The Fall Guy?
The Fall Guy. Yeah, there's a Fall Guy movie.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah. We have
Eric
Larson on every so once in a while, and he talks about all the different franchises that are still valuable or available. And he was just saying that the Fall Guy was out there, and of course we know Magnum PI is still going, and a couple of the other ones. I just wish someone would, and someone has picked up Battlestar Galactica, but they're sitting on it, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I don't know if he still owns. I don't know if he still owns Buck Rogers, or who owns Buck Rogers right now.
Glenn Larson?
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I actually met him. Glenn's son.
Eric.
Yeah. I thought it was.
Well, which son? He's got a couple.
I think it's his.
Glenn Eric.
Son named
Glenn Eric.
Yeah.
Larson.
Yeah. So that's him. Yeah. I met him at Salt Lake City Con this past year.
Oh wow.
He bought a copy of my Buck Rogers book from me and had me sign it. I was like, this is just surreal.
That's awesome.
Really
How does that make you feel, though? Isn't that great?
It blew my mind. It was just like, it was, you feel a little bit like a fanboy again for a second. It's like how did I wind up in this spot? Where
exactly.
His son is buying my book, and then he contacted me on Facebook, tell me how great he thought it was. So I was like, wow, okay, that's cool.
That's awesome.
I did something right, Ma.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he had posted some pictures from the convention when he was there, and he had his son, and we talked a little bit about it last time he was on the show. We talked a little bit about what it's like to be at a con, and he mentioned meeting you.
Really?
So it was yes.
That's
awesome. So it was interesting. Yeah. So I asked him. I said, "Did he know who you were?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, he knew." So okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
no, I mean, Buck Rogers. Listen, I think I based my personality as I was growing up on a combination of Buck Rogers, Han Solo, and Jack Tripper from Three's Company. So,
oh my gosh!
Now we're dating ourselves. Chrissy,
right.
Yeah.
Somewhere in those three was what I thought. This is what I want to be when I grow up. So somewhere in those three, I don't know if I succeeded or not.
I just ended up being Mr. Farley. So.
Three's Company, great show.
No, absolutely great show. Just an amazing way to take somebody misheard something and take it to the furthest possible.
Oh my gosh! Oh yes,
as possible.
We have another question. Is what's your favorite game series?
As in, we're talking about like tabletop series, or are we talking about video game series?
I think it's more of the tabletop series.
favorite tabletop series.
Favorite tabletop game that you've played? What do you think?
Okay, the favorite game I've played. If we're gonna go by rules, it's definitely Star Wars from the 1980s Star Wars game from West End. That's why when I started working for Lion Forge, I was senior development editor over at Lion Forge Comics and Animation for a while, and they said, "Hey, we need someone to head up the gaming department. You know gaming, right?" And I'm like, they're remembering my Rockstar stuff. They're thinking my Rockstar stuff and thinking it's tabletop. I'm like, yeah, no, I know that. So they're like, all right, you can run that. I was like, great. So I was like, so what are we doing? And we're doing role playing. We're doing role playing games. I'm like, okay, great. What rules are we using? Nobody has any idea. And I'm like, okay, so if we're going to make our own rules, we need like 2.5 years of play testing and development and to get this right. And they're like, oh no, we don't have time for that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to find a rule system that we can get the rights to and use that. And I just love that West End game system so much from Star Wars. I found the people who owned it, and I got the rights for Lion Forge to use it. Now then, Lion Forge didn't do anything with the game stuff; they just sat on it until after I was let go during the pandemic, and I was let go because they wanted to close my department, but I still worked freelance for them. And one of their imprints, Magnetic Press, I knew the publisher from there because he was my publisher from years ago, and he calls me and goes, "Hey, did you know that Lion Forge has the rights to use the West End game system?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the one who got them those rights." And they're like, "Oh, do you want to do some games with it? Do you want to do some games with this?" I'm like, "Sure, so
why not?"
So Carbon Gray was the first one of that. So yeah, no, the Star Wars rules were really fun. There's something really amazing and kinetic about picking up like a handful of dice and throwing them all at once, instead of with D&D you throw one die,
right.
Like
roll for initiative.
You pick up like 36-sided dice and just throw them, and then half of them go off the table and you got to find them somewhere.
Or the cat's down there playing with them.
Exactly. But no, that was my favorite rule system for sure.
Yeah. What about screenwriting, Drew? Is that something that's ever been in, have you ever been attracted to do something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of one of the goals of any commercial writer. You do games, you do comics, you do novels, and you kind of hope you're going to get to do screenwriting. So it's on my bucket list to get there. So fingers crossed on that. But I mean, with working with all these properties, it's it's almost inevitable that something's going to happen with that. So, what do you call it? There's so much good sci-fi coming now. I just look at things like when you look at Star Trek, whether you like the new Star Trek or not, right? You look at the special effects, and it's like this is on TV now.
Yeah,
it's like this was motion picture level before.
Yeah.
We can never get this on TV, Next Generation, as amazing as that show is, it's like, oh, it's the same shot of the Enterprise coming around the building, the planet we've seen a million times. It's just, they changed the planet color this time, but there's new stuff. Everything's a new shot. Everything's so the lighting is amazing. And with what's going on with theaters since COVID, I really think streaming is the future of long-term entertainment. Movies are going to get pushed back a little, and TV is evolving into this streaming stuff, which is just such high level stuff like Stranger Things. These are just amazing stories being told with amazing budgets. I mean, some of the budgets are out of control.
It used to be like, oh, you work on TV. You're not worthy. Yeah. Now it's like, oh, you work on the movies? Oh, well, that's nice. I have a streaming show that we run every week, and I've got 10 million viewers, and you didn't make crap at the movie theater, did you? So now it's just totally switched. Movies
have that; they only have this chance. We got to make sure everyone gets to the theaters to see it in this few weeks, and if that doesn't happen, then there goes that movie series.
There's many shows that have been canned because they didn't make it at the box office, just because nobody showed up. COVID and everything else is going on. It's just it's sad that sometimes you get a really great story, but it doesn't get followed enough, and then it just gets canned because, sorry, we got some streaming stuff over here that works a whole lot better than what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah, so it's definitely the future of where things are going. I mean, even Alien is got a streaming series coming, and then like
Yes.
they did with Predator,
There's a question.
like they did with Predator, Prey, they have a direct to streaming movie coming as well for Alien. I don't know if you guys are Predator fans or not, and if you saw Prey, but it was really good. It was much better than the previous film that was in the theaters. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. And hey, what time is it? Yeah, let's just look at something else over here. So yeah,
They brought it back.
Go ahead.
They brought it back to its basics. Like they brought it back to, okay, this is what a Predator story should be, instead of complicating it and trying making it, give it humor out of nowhere, and then now let's make this complicated DNA plot and all this stuff. But it's like, no, it's about survival and a superior hunter, taking down a superior hunter by using your brains rather than your technology or your brawn. And that's what made it good. And I think that's really important with all this stuff, and something that I tried to do with the Alien and the Terminator games, and with all the properties I work on. It's like I don't okay, I've got the rights to do an Alien game now. Okay, they hired me on as writer. I'm never going to be like, I'm going to make this my Alien. Okay, I've got this vision of what Alien could be, and I'm going to change it. No, I'm going to look, okay, what is Alien? Let me find what the key parts of that are, and how can I amplify that? And in the process of connecting all these things, see the stuff that was missed that actually absolutely fits in there. And you fill in those blanks. And then people are like, this is amazing. It feels like Alien. That's what that Predator movie's like. It feels like Predator because it did that. Too many creators want to reinvent the wheel because they want it to be their wheel. Why not just make it?
Yeah, everyone wants to. I guess I can say it. Everyone wants to pee on something, It's mine. I peed on it. Yeah, I mean, but I think I appreciate Alien because I've read the the original short story that kind of gave inspiration to it. What was his name? All right, I'm gonna have to look it up. Van Vogt. I don't know. I have to look it up. But there was an original short story that he wrote in regards to eggs being laid in space people. So
okay.
So that's kind of where I believe that came from, and I love the Alien series. Is just the ideas behind it, and even when they bring them back in different ones, they do have a twist to them that works every single time. I think there's rarely a point that I watch an Alien thing and go, yeah, I wouldn't watch that at the movie theater. About every one of them I've seen, I'd go watch it at the movie theater. I like them all. Terminator, it might be a little different.
The biggest problem that Terminators had to deal with is the rights have been all over the place. So,
really?
Oh, absolutely. It's like the company that made Terminator 3 is not the people who made Terminator 1 and 2. It's basically, I can't remember the name of the company. Whatever made the first film, movie company went under, and the rights got split up amongst the people who left. So Cameron had some rights, and this guy had some rights and everything. So, like, the people who did the Sarah Connor Chronicles are not the same people who did Terminator 4, the one set in the future.
Rise of the Machines, I think it was.
That was the third one. The fourth one was
Salvation.
Gosh. Salvation, thank you. I was like, this is embarrassing. I can't remember what I just worked on this. So it's totally different companies that did those. They're trying to put their mark on Terminator. So it's got that same problem what we were talking before. It's not everybody unified saying this is what Terminator really is, and we need to make this. So it's suffered from that, but there've been some really good content. I really love that Sarah Connor show. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
I did like it too.
Yeah,
I thought it was very
well. Watched it twice over.
I thought that was the Chronicles was really nice. I liked it a lot. Plus it had the girl from Firefly in it, so I was all good.
Yep. It was great. I got to meet her at Silicon Valley Comic Con this past year. She was very nice.
But she did a great job in that show.
Drew,
go ahead.
What do you have any lined up coming up this year? Are you going to go to New York Comic Con, or are there any ones that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I don't know about New York Comic Con yet. I am going to be at Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida at the end of February. And then I believe I'm going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm going to be definitely doing Dragon Con. I just got accepted as a guest. Again.
We'll be there. We'll see you there.
Awesome. We'll be there
every year.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I've been a guest at Dragon Con for the past dozen years. And it's a great show. I love it.
You gonna have a panel, Drew?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be on several panels for sure. We haven't picked them yet, but I'm always on at least 4 or 5 panels. Sometimes one time on Dragon Con I was on 13 panels. It was
my
crazy.
gosh!
Oh, outstanding. Well, we're definitely going to come out and see you, and it looks like we're going to maybe get a couple ourselves. So we will make some time to come down for sure. We're actually going to go to AwesomeCon again this year, and we're doing DC, of course, New York Comic Con, DC, and Dragon Con, of course, will be a big one. A lot of our IFB listeners, followers, friends will be meeting up there as well. So we're going to have a good Battlestar Galactica turnout.
And we had a huge one last year, but the next year is going to be even bigger. We had last year we had 6 actual dressed out Cylons. So that's amazing for old school Battlestar Galactica out there. So we're always there. I've been going there since 2015 or 2015. Yeah, 2014 or 2015. Yeah, I love. What if you go once? We warned our fans.
Yeah.
If you go once, you just better be planning to go again next year. It's just the way it's going to work.
Do you guys ever do San Diego Comic Con or no?
We've been trying. It's on our bucket list. We just can't seem to get tickets.
Trying to get that angle.
Hey, you know somebody? Yeah. Hey, you know anybody?
I mean, I'm going, but the only cons that I go to every year that I pay for myself to go, if a publisher isn't going to pay for it, is San Diego and Licensing Expo in Vegas, because every year I get work out of those 2 shows. Wow. I go, and then the rest of the year is set up with work because I went to that convention. I wound up talking to somebody who knew somebody. Next thing I know, I'm writing a comic. Next thing I know, I'm writing this game. So those and at Licensing Expo, you go. I don't know if you guys are aware of that show or how that works.
No, I've never heard of it.
No.
Okay, so it's not a show for fans to go to. Mm-hmm. It's a show for small companies to go to get the rights to license stuff from bigger companies. So I will go there and talk to Universal about doing a Battlestar Galactica comic or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's a way for companies to make connections to license their properties and move forward with it. That's how I got Space 1999. I went to Licensing Expo and I talked to ITV when they were there and convinced them to do books with us. So.
Do you have to, when you get licensing, do you have to pay? Now you got me intrigued. I want to go there and just say, hey, hi, my name's Chris. We would like to license some Battlestar Galactica books from 1978. And does that work? That's not how it works. Why couldn't it be that simple?
So basically, and it's worse now than it ever was before.
Oh, no.
Because it kind of worked that way when I got the Planet of the Apes license back in 2008, which was led to Conspiracy. Nowadays, well, all right. So I'll tell you what happened then first, okay?
Okay.
And I'm prefacing this by saying this would never happen today. Never. Okay. So I was working for Rockstar Games on Grand Theft Auto and those other games, like, it says in the bio thing. And I went into a comic shop and I saw there was a new Planet of the Apes comic. And I was like, oh, this is great. Who's doing this? Marvel, DC? And it was somebody called Mr. Comics. And I was like, who the bleep is Mr. Bleep in comics? And if they can get this license, why can't I? Which was my thought at the time. So I hired an entertainment lawyer because I was making good money working on video game stuff. And wound up talking, the entertainment lawyer wound up putting me in touch with Fox. I talked with them. And in the end, they wound up ending the license with Mr. Comics because they didn't fulfill the contract completely the way they were supposed to. And I was told that, hey, come meet us at Licensing Expo and we'll talk about what you want to do. So I get there and I tell them, okay, so we want to do graphic novels. I want to tell the story about Landon, who, was the astronaut that wound up lobotomized. This story conspiracy is already in the genesis of this and everything, right? And the licensing person I spoke to said their boss was there, and they said, wait, we don't want to do comics. After what happened with the other company, we don't want to do comics at all. So if that's what you're here for, and I said, well, when I say comics, I kind of mean like a novel with paintings. And I said, sort of like that Aliens book that came out a few years ago called Aliens Tribes. And the woman said, Aliens Tribes is my favorite project that I've ever worked on. We'll get you your license.
Wow.
All right. Nice. So I had to give them a minimum guarantee, this is still the way it works, but the minimum guarantee is a lot more now than it was back then. Okay. And which means that, like, we'll pretend it was $20,000. Okay. I'm just making up numbers now. Okay. But I give them $20,000. They give me the rights to use the license for 5 years. If I don't do anything with it and I never make any money, they keep the $20,000. Okay. But if I start doing the book, if I do the books and they get a percentage on each one that's sold. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what it is I don't owe them another dime until we make them $20,001. Then I only owe them $1 because we already paid the $20,000. See, so the minimum guarantee is held against the profits. And I don't mean the D Space Nine profits. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So what do you call it? The thing is that what they do now is they want to see that your company has been around for a long time. They want to see your books for the past 5 years to see you can afford to do this. They want to. You need to have like $100,000 to do this. Yeah. It's not at all like it used to be because they had too many schmucks like me coming in saying, "Hey, I want to do this thing," and then they didn't do the thing, but I did do the thing. So,
oh my gosh,
yeah. So it's a crazy world, but you have to. They don't want to waste their time with someone who's not going to make them money. So,
right.
So in my case, I had specifically made Blam so I could do these things. So, but I didn't think I was going to be writing those conspiracy. My friends who were, part of Blam with me, they were aspiring authors. And once we took it away from comics, I was like, okay, well, I guess you guys are writing these, not me. And we plotted them together, and then they both bailed on me.
Oh, no.
And so, and I'm sitting here with this, and I'm like, I don't know how to write prose. I never wrote a prose novel. I was trained by Denny to write comics. I know how to write movie scripts because that is an extension of the comic script. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you know how to do this, you're pretty much going to figure out how to do that. But this was a whole other thing to me. And so I was like, I guess I'm teaching myself how to write a novel.
Oh,
and
no.
I wrote the book, and luckily it didn't suck. So
no, it did not.
It did
Absolutely not.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. And that book, it created my whole career because I got all those top name artists to work on the book. That's a Jim Steranko cover. And my name immediately was showing up in web searches with all those artists' names. So people were like, oh, I know that guy. He worked with Joe Jusko. He worked with Dave Dorman. He worked with Jim Steranko. Okay. And then on top of that, a couple of years later, I get a phone call from Fox saying, it was the franchise director over there. And he says, hey, I actually read your book. I didn't have my intern read it. I actually read your book. And we're trying to figure out this stuff for the Planet of the Apes timeline that we can't figure out. And I think you know this stuff better than us. Do you want to be a consultant? And I was like, who says no to that?
No, hell no. Yeah, I'm sure immediately you said, no. You said, no, man, I'm not doing that.
I didn't even think it. I just hung up on him. And changed my phone number.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I mean that book really, it's like, and it's crazy because that book, I put all my own money into it. It cost me, between the licensing fees and the creators and everything, and remember this is 13 years ago, it cost me $40,000 to put that book together. And because the publisher wound up going out of business and getting bought by another company, I actually never saw a dime on any of it.
No.
But that $40,000 launched my career, so it was better than a student loan. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am now. Because that led to me consulting on Alien and Predator. I actually wrote the 700-page internal Predator Bible that they use over there. When it came time to do a second book, I tried to renew my license, and their rules had changed there. So where you have to be a company that proves some numbers and stuff. So it was like, there's no way you're going to get this license to do that. But the guy said, but Titan Books has the rights to do the newer movies as books. I'm going to suggest to them that they expand the license to include the classic, and then I'll recommend that you write them. Okay. And that's what happened, which got me to write the second book.
Oh, okay.
And the new franchise director who came in at that point said to me, if there's any projects that you can find a company who wants to license something from us that we haven't already filled the category with, feel free to bring them in. And because you're our consultant, we want you to write the backstory stuff for it. So, we'll recommend you as, hey, this guy knows this stuff. You should use him. So I said, well, there's no Alien role-playing game. So for 18 months, I shopped it around to all the role-playing companies. And they all said, it's a one-hit wonder. People will buy it and be like, okay, I fought an alien. That's it. No one wanted to back it. And it was very frustrating because I'm like, there's so much you could do with this universe. There's so much in the comics and the novels. They can all be brought together to make a living, breathing thing here. And I talked to my friend Joe LaFavi, who I always tell people, he's younger than me, and I always tell people I want to be him when I grow up. Because he makes these connections between the right companies to make projects happen. And he's really good at it. I said, Joe, I can't find anybody. Do you know anyone who would want to do a role-playing game for Alien? And he had just met this company called Free League, who he was really impressed with their work. And he said, I want a top 10 list of the licenses you would want. And Free League had Alien at the top of their list. So he connected us. And then we made a game that won 9 awards, so it's everything is spiraled out of that. Hey, you know what? Let me see if I can make a Planet of the Apes book. So it's not the way this industry works, and it could never happen today. So I just got lucky. But I had tried to do the same thing. I had tried to do the same thing with Battlestar, with Universal. And it came so close every time. And Richard was going to write. We were going to have a comic series that takes place in the timeline of Richard's novels, and he was going to write that series as well. But we never could come together with Universal and make it work. I tried for Star Trek, and this was right after Enterprise had been canceled, and Nemesis had not done well. And I went after the Star Trek license. And this comic company that was brand new called IDW that no one had heard of yet outbid me on the license, and they got it.
Oh.
So IDW is this huge comic company now. License. Yeah. So, I was only able to secure Planet of the Apes and Space 1999 back then. And then the Planet of the Apes book also led to the Buck Rogers books because the licensing agent called me from Buck Rogers and said, hey, do you want to do that for Buck Rogers? And I said, absolutely. What we were originally going to do.
You didn't go once again and said, oh, I'm not doing that. There's just no way. I just way too much work on that deal.
Hanging up on that. Yeah.
Well, actually, what I said to him was, I'm only going to do it if it can be canon. Okay, I whatever we do has to be considered moving forward. I said, and when we get to season 3, I need to be able to kill characters.
Ooh.
And they said that they were fine with that. So,
That's cool.
Well, the plan was to take every 3 of those little novellas after they were done, collect them as a hardcover with paintings in it, like Conspiracy was. So we had 9 little books planned that would become 3 hardcovers with paintings. So like I said, we almost made it through the first 3 little books, and chaos. Yeah. So
incredible.
Sorry, I didn't mean to run off like that one.
Oh no, this is fascinating.
No, that's our guests. We encourage that with all our guests, Drew. We appreciate that. That's what our fans at least want to hear. They want to hear these stories. This is what we're here for. I'm curious to know if you have any involvement with the new Marvel Planet of the Apes.
With the Marvel stuff, no. That's all I can say.
Oh, ouch.
Too bad. Too bad. Oh man, so looking forward to that coming up. Too bad.
Well, the Marvel comic is set in the new universe, the one from the new movies. Mm-hmm. It's not set in the classic, even though they have a lot of classic covers that are being released as special covers. But not with the Marvel stuff, no. But that maybe something else. Let's put it that way.
There we go.
Oh, excellent. Okay, good. There is hope. Fantastic. Oh, we love to hear that. That's good. That's good. So Drew, we're hoping that you make it to New York Comic Con at least, since we're going to be there. But if not, Dragon Con, we'll definitely see you at Dragon Con. Sure. Where can we get your products? Now, your things are available on Amazon and everywhere else. Is there anywhere specific?
No, you can get everything on Amazon. You can get it directly from the publishers, Free League and Nightfall. But if you're looking for signed copies, you can contact me directly on Facebook.
Okay.
Andrew E. Gaska on Facebook. If you go to friend me, definitely send me a message as well that says, hey, I heard you on this show and blah, 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 blah. Because otherwise I don't know who you are, and I'm not going to accept a friendship unless you'll send me a message. But yeah, if you tell me you're looking for a book, ask me questions about any of the properties I've worked on. I'd love to answer those questions. I will. I've got my Terminator banner up right now because that just has been reaching stores now. What do you call it? If I don't respond right away, it's only because I'm under deadline, and I'll get to you. But I will definitely respond. I'm also in a lot of the forums, the Facebook groups for these games, answering questions there and giving people advice on their game and stuff. So
I would be remiss, Drew, if I didn't mention Professor Eric Padden. He wrote a crossover Planet of the Apes Battlestar Galactica, which is tremendous. It's fan fiction. It's readily available on the internet, and it is phenomenal in my opinion. And if you're not familiar, I highly recommend for whatever it's worth. But I'm not sure if Eric, are you on with us tonight? Yes, he is. He's with us. Yes. That's right. There's your crossover by Eric Padden. It's phenomenal. It's what if the Battlestar Galactica from 1978 on their voyage end up on Planet of the Apes.
By the time they get there. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's awesome.
It's incredible stuff. But Drew, thank you very much for taking time out. We thoroughly enjoyed this.
This was amazing.
And
I had a great time.
Open door policy for you, Drew. Anytime, if there's anything that you want to come on and talk about that you're working on, your releases, anything like that,
anything new,
appearances, please let us know. We'd love to have you back. That I happen to be a fan. So
Pete is a big Planet of the Apes fan. So you got there, Pete?
I got one of these from you as well.
Oh wow, my business card from 1 billion years ago. Okay.
Yes.
That phone number no longer works.
Much appreciated. So you have a home here, Drew, for any of your work that you want to discuss anytime. You just drop us a message and we'll have you on Thank you
Thanks.
so
I really
much.
appreciate that. Thank you.
So from one SVA Queens guy, New York Pete, to you, Drew, all the best. Bottoms up.
Thank you.
Here's you, sir. Thank you much.
Wow, that's incredible. That was so cool. That was like
I hope it
taking a
was what
master
you guys
class.
wanted. I hope it was what you guys wanted, because I wasn't sure what we were going to be talking about or anything, so I just kind of ad-libbed it. So
Yeah, you're good.
Perfect.
Cool.
This is, we usually have like discussions, Drew. Our guests, we let them bring what they want. We'll prep them like we did now, and that was fantastic. Really, really, it was like I was saying, it was like a master class in a look behind the scenes on how does someone get to where they got, and that was just so cool.
Right.
Appreciate you coming on the show, John. Thank you for setting that up, and if you're out and about, let's have you come on and do your spot. And then we're moving closer to Team BSG Viper with Karl Schmidt. Guys, thanks for watching all over the world. We're down under in Australia, and I believe we're also linked into West Coast, of course. We have plenty of Pacific Northwest, I believe, and let's see, Texas. I believe we also have Austria is probably represented as well. So fun crossover concept. Mike, if you get a chance to read the crossover that Eric did, man, I blown away. Not to mention this is a fantastic book. If you can get your hands on this, it's really, really good. I don't know. I think John is probably out there. The other
John's
thing
here.
that okay, good, because Non-Sports Almanac, we had mentioned on one of our previous shows that we were going to get this, and then we had a guest come on, and that was from the magazine, and so we're going to actually go to the convention.
There's John.
So that's going to be interesting, right? We're pretty set now with tickets and all, so that's going to happen. And yes, Mr. Tozer, Harris Tozer, who was production manager for Non-Sports Update. They run the convention that's going to be in May, and so Chris and I got one of these. I'd never gotten one, and just so that everybody knows, it's.
And I just picked up a set of Magnum PI cards.
Yeah, see, that's what happens. That's what happens. So that's interesting. Oh, Daggets in the background. Daggets. So that is that's the sign that John's ready to go. Yeah.
The dog is telling us. The Daggets are telling us, "Hey, he's ready." All right. So I gotta
that down.
So put it. What?
Minions are running amok. The minions are getting
It's
better.
always a fun time with John and his minions.
Yeah, the minions were sick the last 2 days on my days off, so I had to take care of them. So.
Oh no. That's always fun.
Don't make John get up.
Hang on, John. I gotta set your camera up, or your PowerPoint up inside your picture-in-picture thing here. So
John, I want to let you know that Star Trek Picard, the final season, is going to come up real soon. I have I got tickets. I got tickets to go to an advanced screening here in New York City.
Oh.
Patrick Stewart, Michael Dorn, Jonathan Frakes, and Gates McFadden will be there in person to do like a panel. So I'm going to get to see an advanced screening and then see them on a panel discussion after the premiere here in New York City on Monday, February 13th. So
if you get to talk to him, ask him.
Wow. Get autographs.
Ask him. Why isn't Jar Jar
Actually,
in it?
I have Michael Dorn. I got Michael Dorn, Jonathan Frakes, and Gates McFadden. I have all three of those. I don't have Patrick Stewart, but I do have the other three. I met them at a Star Trek convention in Pasadena many decades ago. So it's they're very, very cool people, all of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be bittersweet. It's gonna be the last of the the next generation. I think that's going to be. They say when Picard 3 goes, they're going to pass the torch on to another generation. So maybe there'll be another Star Trek show again.
I like Strange New Worlds more than anything else, but
Oh yeah, I
I
do too.
love Strange New Worlds.
It's fantastic.
I think it's better than any of the other ones, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, and
so
tuning in every
that
Thursday
and Lower Decks. Those are the only two I really kind of follow.
Ah,
I love Lower Decks.
Strange New Worlds. Yeah, Lower Deck's pretty funny. So I enjoy that. Well, I got a quick report. The CW has promoted its last season of The Flash. I'm sad to see it go. I used to watch Smallville, Arrow, but now The Flash is the last season, so all things are good are coming to an end. That's on CW on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Say goodbye to his last run.
I like the way they put that, though, the final run.
That's cool. Yeah.
Good. So that hopefully some more shows come on, but CW is, they're starting to fracture, so we don't know. So, and he's coming, everybody. The Mandalorian is coming soon at the March 1st, and to promote season 3, the first episode, chapter 1, The Mandalorian, will appear on regular TV. For any holdouts, I don't think there's any holdouts out there who never saw The Mandalorian. Any Star Wars fans, you either
how many episodes are in a season now?
Oh, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I hope there be more.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch Battlestar Galactica, and one season was 24 episodes.
And you see a lot of the old shows, season 21, season 1, episode 20.
Yeah.
And now it's like cut off like half or 3/4.
Halfway.
Cut off.
It's like,
what's
the
going on?
the Love Boat. I was just watching one of them last night. Season 6 or whatever else, episode 24. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, maybe because the budget or because the actors want more money for each episode, they have to cut it down. But
maybe our attention span is too short.
Yeah.
And like, well, if we ran 24 episodes, we'd lose the audience probably episode 10. So let's only do like 6.
Do like 6, and the writers can be happy, and they can keep doing as more and more cliffhangers to keep us going.
Oh yeah.
But that'll be on Freeform, FX, and ABC on February 24th at 8 p.m. That's going to be a Friday, and it's a week before episode 1 comes on Disney+. So check that out. So, some comic news. It looks like there will be a new U.S. agent on Cole North becomes U.S. agent in Daredevil number 8. Daredevil and the Punisher fight. I really think
the Punisher, one of my favorites.
Replacement guys becoming replacements. So, and also Marie Hill will put on the armor of War Machine. She'll be the first female War Machine on Secret Wars number 4. Which, by the way, Secret Wars is coming on Disney. The Secret Invasion is coming. It should be coming out of April and May.
Really?
Wow.
Animated or live action?
No, the series. There's a new series coming on Disney called Secret Invasion with the Skrulls and Tony Fury. Nick Fury, and it's gonna be like a series on Disney. So he's gonna deal with like the Secret Wars in the comics, where the Skrulls come in and they don't know who's human or not. So that's coming soon this year. And Loki's coming this summer. So we will see. And Marvel's Planet of the Apes number 1 will be pushed back to April.
I know.
I have to wait for that. I'm looking forward to that.
I told my comic book shop make sure they started doing those, and they're like, yeah, it's not coming out yet. Oh my gosh.
I have to begin with Saturday. I'll take my 2-week journey to the comics with the kids, so I'll be getting a nice collection. So April. Also, Amazon will produce 2 new shows based on comics. Spider-Man Noir, as you saw, Spider-Man Noir has been around for a couple of years, but everyone knows him from the Spider-Man the Multiverse. The guy with the old detective hat and stuff. He's going to be on a live-action series set in the 30s in New York City. So there's going to be a live-action guy dressed up as Spider-Man in a detective outfit trying to solve crimes.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Well,
hey, it's the ultimate, of course. So, and also, the next comic book is called Witches. It's a production of some kind of supernatural investigator series. It's a comic book series, kind of dark, but it's pretty good. And I'd like to see that, put them in a series, but they're working on that as an animated series for Amazon. That's to be
Cool.
determined when it's still in production now, so it's going to come out pretty soon. And I've done some research. That Star Wars canteen is in California. It's called Scum and Villainy Cantina in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, that's what this picture is. Okay. I was trying to figure out what this
you go
was.
in there and it's like a set of a cantina. A lot of cosplayers go there. You can get like a certain drinks, hang out, get some food. And that's the bar they were talking about the last show. And there's another one.
I just want to know if the blue elephant's there playing the piano. And where's Jar Jar?
Oh, well, Jar Jar's going to get knocked out by the bouncers, so that's,
Thank God.
yeah. Jar Jar can experience an Earth bar fight by getting out. And a reminder for next week, Ant-Man's coming out in the movie theaters, Picard, and Carnival Row is coming out on Amazon the 17th. 17th is a big day. And that's all for me, guys.
Yeah, I heard about Carnival Row last week. It was like, I don't know.
Yes, Carnival Row. Now, let me ask you this, John. There's a couple of shows that I caught up on. One of them is The Recruit. I don't know if you watched that.
That was good.
That's on Netflix.
The other one, yeah. The other one is called Lockwood and Company. I just started watching that. And of course,
Yes,
The Last of Us.
The Ghost show. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah, young kids are fighting ghosts, and ghosts come and they kill people.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Is that
The Last of
Lockwood
Us-
one?
Lockwood and Company, yeah. It's an English.
I started watching it. I was like, this is a young adult show, and I turned it off.
Nah, it's pretty good. I watched the first episode.
pretty good.
I'm definitely going to move forward. And
good.
The Last of Us, John, what do you think of The Last of Us?
A lot of the scenes are based on the comic book series. When she crosses across the building and she says stuff, and it's really good. It's like the best HBO biggest scene series they've had since Game of Thrones. So it's getting good reviews. The last 2 episodes are pretty good because it wasn't really about them. It was different, and it's starting to get action packed and fast paced now. So it's
just cool.
I like the character development. I like the actors. The 2 actors were also in Game of Thrones. They were
Yes.
Million Martell and one of the lords from the north.
Yes.
Him and the
That's
girl.
right.
I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Game of Thrones.
what?
Game of Thrones.
You're lucky to
I
get
don't
me
know.
to watch Witcher.
Witcher
because
good.
because I'm not much of a fantasy person. I like the Star Wars and star stuff and battles in space and that kind of thing, but I'm just not big into the fantasy stuff. Never was.
Lady Mormont of Bear Island.
That's right, Lady Mormont. She's
Thank
you.
a good
Hell.
actress. Pretty good. She's pretty good in this series too.
Yeah.
So,
So
Yeah, a lot
so
of
there's
the,
there's a lot of great TV, John, and the comic books are just rolling. There's always stuff going on. Thank you very much for getting Andrew Gaska for us.
Oh yeah, that was
that
great.
was a tremendous.
that was a really good interview. Very nice.
That was
man.
fun.
Oh my God, he shared some really cool inside
I
stuff.
love the information
Oh.
in regards to going to a place where everybody's selling the rights to something. It's like, man,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
we
I
all
was
need
like,
to
I
get
picked up
together
a
and put the
notebook,
rights
I'm like,
together for Battlestar and rights. Get everybody who writes fan fiction and put it together. I would love to do what was it? The Star Wars, the books from another point of view. Who wrote those?
Yeah.
That was
That's right.
Star Wars from another, or what was it? That
What?
was Star Wars from a different point of view, or whatever else. Oh, it
No,
said stories. It was that was one of the great listens.
Yeah.
I can't say I read
Yeah.
it. I listened to it.
Oh yeah, they had
Who did that?
They had like different stories with different authors on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from different points of view. So
Yeah.
one of them was the like Empire Strikes Back from a different point of view. It was like they would talk
From a certain point of view.
certain point of view. I think that's what it is. I can't remember
Something
who
like
wrote
that, yeah.
those, but they were, or who edited. Some of the people who were in them. It was different people who did different ones, and different stories, and they were just fantastic because it was, this guy is, you watch the movie and it's this one guy in the movie and it has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. He's like a background actor or whatever else. and they have a story for that guy, and he's the
They
wrangler
ago.
for the freaking weird looking two-legged
they
things
done
that
that. They had done that in novels. There was 3 novels.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Tales of the Bounty Hunters. There was 3 of them, and one of the best ones was Tales of the Bounty Hunters, and they explore each one of the bounty hunters in The Empire Strikes Back. They have a backstory to each one of those, and there was 3 of them. Tales from Jabba's Palace was another one, and there was a third one, and they were really good. They came out like 25 years ago, I think.
No, this is like Star Wars from different. Now you're gonna make me look it up.
Yeah, this is a new one that you were talking about. We mentioned it on the show. But
I actually reported on that. It's on Amazon.
But
I have it now.
We have a quick
on the book. Huge authors.
Yeah, it was a bunch of officers, so it was good. The Dengar story was great. It really was, Mike. John, we're pushing the Stranded Warrior. We're doing really well. We're at 37% funded. And we have on air right now, live with us, we have some of the crew chiefs that have signed on, and now we're getting ready to lock down some of the main actors for the film, and we're moving forward. We have 2 of the bridge uniforms are being made as we speak. There's some final sizing that's going to be done, so they're being made, and we have a bunch of other things going on. Chris has a small teaser that he's working on. I wanted to personally thank everybody for supporting.
Oh yeah,
and it's going to be a heck of a fan film, guys. You're all going to really get a kick out of this. And it's gritty. It's a gritty version.
Oh, it's a gritty look. I mean, I didn't pull those over yet, did I? Hang on, I got to pull those over. Keep going.
Well, I just wanted to let you guys know that we're going to do a little teaser for you. And John, thank you very, very much for doing what you do. Besides the reporting, you also, you're getting us recruiting our guests. Next week, John, you got us Miss Sandy Gimple, who, amongst all of the things that she's done, it's one of the things that stand out is that early in her career, she was the salt vampire in the original Star Trek, and she also was a Talosian in the original Star Trek. And you can see pictures online of her, as the salt vampire holding the head, separate from, and it's really cool. She also autographed that scene. That image is part of the autograph collectors, and so I have that. It's really cool that she's coming, man. It's incredible. So thanks for doing that, John.
Very nice lady. So she's looking forward.
Oh, that's fantastic.
She might come on later
great.
on because of a meeting next week, but she's definitely coming on.
That's cool.
All right,
I can't wait.
Fantastic. So thanks a lot, John. We're gonna run the trailer right now for the Stranded Warrior, right, Chris?
And I have my set on that the flight sergeant. I'm just talking to my executive officer, so I should have enough to donate for that flight sergeant.
Outstanding, John. Outstanding. Thank you for everything you're doing. Really appreciate it. A good teammate here, and thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Fans
for the fleet.
All right.
So you ready for the trailer?
Let's do it.
Yep. There are those who believe the Cylon War is lost and that man cannot survive. There are those who fled the colonies in hopes of living in peace. And there are those who fight. These are the warriors. They and their ancestors, both women and men, have been living with violence and death for over a millennium. These warriors, even now, fight to survive, physically and mentally, together and alone, all across the heavens. But we would be remiss if we did not mention the fans. Warriors that have kept the faith. They carry on the fight to keep the story and their fandom alive. They have been and continue to fuel the fleet.
Wow.
That was a quickie.
Wow, that was awesome.
That was
man.
great.
That was good stuff, man. That was good stuff. So those were exclusively made CG products by Chuck and Chris. They're working with us, and we we have a good bunch of volunteers that are signed on, and everybody is excited about this. So we are we're a go. We're going to be shooting in May, and location's locked. The script is locked, and we we're gonna have a good time making this, and we look forward to more releases and little tidbits, and some more little.
But you said it was really gritty, and I just wanted to make sure everybody knew how gritty it was. So someone gets killed in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we had to make a Cylon dagger. So we wanted something a little shorter than a sword. So we won't go any farther than that. But this thing was so evil. So our prop master is a mediocre modeler. This thing was so evil after he printed it. It threatened him first. It threatened him first. I don't understand why. But suddenly it got up off the table by itself and threatened him. And then when he wouldn't do his, wouldn't go with the threats, it killed him.
Yes. So it's dangerous.
It's a dangerous thing.
It is not to be trifled with. And it plays a very significant part in the Stranded Warriors. So inside stuff going on here, guys. Oh, boy. That was great.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it so far. I mean,
yes, we are.
It's pretty serious and gritty, and it's only part one of what we started to put together. So, maybe we'll get part two. More than likely, with the way we're funding right now, I don't think we're gonna make it there.
Looks like it looks like it's gonna be a 20-minute or more short. Anyway,
it's gonna
as
be
is
20 or 30, and for part one is still pretty big because there's a lot of
part one
intrigue and answers we had to do. So we looked at the show and said what answers would we like to have, and then we wrote the script.
So it's done, and I mean the script was written a while ago, but we just locked it down. So no returns on dagger sales. That's right. The butler did it, Mike. That's right. The butler did it. You'll see. We got some cool stuff going on. In the meantime, I believe we might have Karl Cullenschmidt
Karl
from
here yet?
Team BSG might be waiting in the wings.
Nope. Not yet.
Karl, if you're try to get on, because that's we're expecting you, buddy, and we're hoping that you can get on. Karl and Team BSG Viper was going to come on, and they were going to give us a live update on the status of the Mark I Viper. They're making their way to, I believe it's Allcon.
Yes, Allcon.
And so, they
know
wanted
what the dates
to
are for that. Let me look that up real quick. So I figure.
Yeah, they want to come on and give us a heads up on what's what, and so hopefully they're going to be able to make it. Because remember, this is moving themselves from home to like using your Wi-Fi from your house, and then moving out to the to your garage can be, I think, a challenge to say the least, guys.
So AllCon is
So-
in Dallas, March 16th to the 19th. So it's coming up pretty quick.
There you go. It's coming up. That's for sure, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Coming up pretty
Cool.
quick.
Yeah. So let's hope that. Let's see. Let me just make sure, Karl. Come on.
They even advertise it now.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Very, very cool. So let's see. All right. And all right. So John, I'm gonna ask you to sign off for tonight, and we'll see.
Because he may be trying to come in on that channel.
Probably.
Okay, guys.
But
All right.
Thank
all right, John.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Take care.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Alexa off.
Does that mean we're Alexa? Is that what that? What the,
I don't
the
know.
minions are
All I heard was somebody
are
yell Alexa
inferring
off.
That we are the. Paul, I'm glad you like the trailer, buddy. We are working hard on our end, trying to get everything together. There's a lot of stuff that goes into filming and producing something like
Right.
this, and we're going to give you a behind the scenes. We're going to do a separate little short and go through the mechanics of actually filming.
While we're filming, let's try this again. Hi, my name's Chris. I haven't had that much beer tonight. So while we're filming, I'm going to try to do, I have some 360 cameras. I'm going to try to put those on and we'll catch behind the scenes at the same time we're filming. So you get to see on Facebook, you'll be able to move all the way around and watch some of the filming from there. So we're not going to give away too much of it. I can't give you 360 on everything. I might have to turn off the audio for some, but it's going to be exciting. It's been fun. I know Pete's expecting a large delivery tomorrow in New York because Chris did not want to drive it up there. So it's going to be a heavy delivery as well. So, but it is what it is. We're doing what we can with what we got. So, like I said, if you got a chance to throw in a $20 or so, we would appreciate it. If not, hey, just share it. That's fine. We're okay with that too. We're gonna make it happen. It's up to the fans to see how much quality we get out of it. We're gonna do our best. But,
yes, we are.
As you can see from the trailer, our CG guys are fracking amazing.
Yeah, Chuck and Chris are
fracking
just
amazing,
they
and
are
they're
just
so excited,
really
which is so much fun out of it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So while we're waiting for Karl to show up, if he shows up tonight, I picked up something pretty cool on the internet.
Yes.
So I'm going to see something really cool, something that nobody usually sees. Let's check this out.
Yeah.
This is an audiobook called The Weapon Shop by A.E. Van Vo. So this was a broadcast at, where else but, Dragon Con, September 2005. They performed this audiobook live at Dragon Con, and Richard signed it on here. So Richard was part of the audiobook. So it's not a really long audiobook, but it's pretty cool. I listened to it today, or as a matter of fact, as soon as I got it in the mail, I brought it home and I I put it in the CD player, or my computer, and started playing it. So, and so this was performed live at Dragon Con. It's based on a book by what was the name? By A.E. Van Vo. Now, this is also the same guy who wrote a book on aliens laying eggs inside of spacemen for a short story. Sound familiar?
Yep.
That was for tonight. Aliens. So it could have been the inspiration for that. Also, the person who wrote, who actually performed this thing and who kind of adapted it for the audiobook for them to read, his name is Brad Lineweaver. And does that name ring a bell to anybody?
It should.
It should. If not, you haven't read Richard's books, because he co-wrote Paradise and another book I can't remember off the top of my head with Brad. So really cool. This was done by the Atlanta, what the heck they call themselves? ARTC. I can't remember the acronyms. I work for the government. As you figured, I figured acronyms by now. Atlanta Radio Theater Company. So
There you go.
Atlanta Radio Theater Company did this, and it's pretty cool. It's a decent short story about a weapon shop that shows up. You know, the way that this world works is it shows up suddenly, it crops up, and how they sell weapons, and it's very libertarian in design for the politics type thing in here. So I liked it. It was fun. Kind of fun, and you know, you got to hear Richard do his part in there, and it was great. So, and I know we just, you know, everybody's been, you know, and I don't want to sound. I'll bring Pete up for this too, but I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound bad, but we normally, you know, and it is great to remember Richard during the things, but we don't.
Yes.
We don't, as policy, try to celebrate the death day. We like to celebrate birthdays, but we really didn't post anything up on his death day. But we do miss him very much, so don't take that we didn't post something up on our timeline or something that we do not miss Richard immensely. But we don't want to celebrate the day. That's just a personal choice between Pete and I that we came up with a while back, and we just don't celebrate death days. It's
right. Great
to remember personnel, but if you're going to remember them, let's remember their birthdays and not the day they left us. So, but Pete, I guess Karl is not going to make it tonight. I don't. It doesn't look like he's slowed down.
I'm not sure.
Have you heard from him?
Yes, I sent him a message, and yes, we celebrate life. That's right, Lola.
Yep.
I told him he's up. He said yes. I'm not sure what that means.
Now. I just saw him.
Okay. Well, you know what? In the meantime, I want to plug this. This is the 78th show, Philly Non-Sports Card Show. May 20th is when we're going to be on. So we're going to be there covering. It's Greater Philadelphia Expo Center at Oaks. And we're going to be interviewing and doing some, behind the scenes on how that all comes together and a little bit of the history of the show itself, and probably picking up some cards as well. I know I will, and I'm sure I have no doubt that Tipsy Toaster will be buying, because he doesn't have too many. He hasn't really dived too deep into the card collecting.
No, it hasn't been my thing. So, but now it is my thing, because there's so many cool sets out there, like V and Magnum PI and everything else.
So we are going to be there. We have, I just locked in my travel for the day. So I'll be traveling in and out same day. And
I'll be driving up.
You'll be driving, yeah. And so we're gonna be covering. I think it's gonna be great. So if Karl is here, there he is. Hey, Karl, welcome to IFB. What's up, buddy?
Hey, you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Okay.
Spooky.
So
you're in a dark environment, waiting for somebody to sneak up behind you.
Oh, it's the hangar bay.
Is Cassie?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great.
It's going. So you're actually in your workshop, the garage, the Mark 1. So give it to us, man. Come on, tell us, show us, go for it.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is a standard garage in your house, but so there's part of the Viper back there. There's the nose section. See that?
That's how we Cylons like it, apart in pieces.
Oh, come on now.
It's every Viper should be in pieces.
I mean, you think Starbucks, don't want to crash the Viper? Come on. Okay, so there's the cockpit.
Oh, got lights on too.
That camera on. Yep, we got the lights on it. George has got a lot of the panels, but let us open the cockpit up and it will climb inside.
Look at that! That's cool.
Karl Cullenschmidt with Team BSG Viper, and look at that baby.
That's
going,
cool.
Man.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
We'll do a quick demonstration how fast it goes down. Ready?
Well, you got to leave in a hurry. When you get there, not in that much of a hurry. When you
Well,
leave,
he's
you're in a
gotta run
hurry.
from. Well, Cassiope and Athena are coming after him. He's got to close that thing and get out of there.
That's right. Athena shouldn't be coming after him anymore.
Cool.
She's with me.
So I'll tell you what. We climb up and I'll show you. Try to get you an idea what it looks
that'd
like
be great.
inside. But George has got some of the panels he's working on, so
he's got them out.
But definitely doing some upgrades. But let's get the camera.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You got Cora working yet? I know you were trying to work on that.
Oh yeah, let's flip her on. Ta-da.
There's Cora.
Can you see her? There's Cora.
Yep.
Starbuck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So as you can see, the video screen is out. George is working on that. Come around.
Oh, I love those
Oh,
switches.
wow.
We have to get some close-ups on those.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love the switches. Yep.
Love
let me
it.
climb in her. I'm climbing her real quick, and I'll show you how cozy it is.
All right, cool. And the Viper, you guys are going to be out at AllCon, which is fantastic. So for anyone that's going to be in the neighborhood, definitely stop in and say hello. You'll be able to climb in. I know some of you already have. I know, of course, Paul, Commander Kane, has been out there, and some of the others have actually visited. And this is just incredible. Look at this.
So March, we'll be there actually March 15th through the 20th. Let's get that back to go up a little bit there. 15th through the 20th because it takes a good 8 hours to put it together.
Right.
I won't get ahead with that, but
Don't
and
hit
then
the ceiling.
probably about another 6 hours to disassemble. So I had to go up to Dallas and just make sure that the Viper would fit in the hotel.
Oh my gosh!
Because it's not a convention center; it's actually at a hotel.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So unfortunately, with the let's get it in there. Oh, this canopy's coming down whether I like it or not. I had to go up there and I had to check to make sure that we can get the Viper in there safely. We have 36 pieces that have to get from the loading dock into the ballroom. And unfortunately, we're going to have to improvise because I have a box trailer and it's level to the ground. It basically put a car in the trailer. That's what kind of trailer it is. They don't have they have a ramp that goes in from the loading dock, but it's only 4 feet wide.
Oh,
the cockpit is 6 feet long by 5 feet wide.
Oops.
So there's only one door, and we're going to have to use the lift that we used to build it with. We're going to have to use that to raise it up to the loading dock.
Oh my gosh!
So it took some negotiation to figure out if can we do it? Can we do it safely? And the manpower to do it.
Oof.
So I've got a gentleman coming in from Denver, Dan.
Okay.
And rest of Team BSG Viper is going to help. So it's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be great because we're gonna start back where we left off after COVID, getting it back to Alcon.
It kind of does make it circle back around because that's where we wanted to see it last time. Is at the at Alcon in 2018, 2020.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and it didn't make
it. I said, it canceled at the last day, and there was people up there in Alcon, and I was ready to go with the trailer, and I mean, I was disappointed. There was people from overseas that were there.
Yep,
and
that's where I met. He's not on tonight. I have to find his name.
Chris Laskowski was there.
Laskowski, that's it. Yeah, from Australia.
A lot of people there. I think Boomer still showed up.
Yep. I sat and talked with Boomer for a number of hours in the lobby, which was fantastic. It's like,
if like I said, if we would have negotiated maybe a day or two earlier, we would have had it built for the people that did come. But they just pulled the plug and pulled the carpet from underneath us, and there just was no reason to go up there.
Right.
So we're gonna start where we left off before COVID.
That's great. And, kind of it feels good because it circles back around. It's that
Yes.
full circle. Hey, we haven't been out anywhere, and then finally we're back out.
Okay. So
There you are.
here
You're
we
all
go.
set, ready to launch.
Nice,
Karl,
Wait, you have
nice
to
and
you have to
toasty.
do the. You have to do the.
Oh well,
Yeah.
you know what? If you want to go,
Yeah.
if you want to go full bore, I mean, come on.
Gotta have the.
Let's get the
Gotta have
helmet on
the.
here.
There you go.
There we
Now
go.
you have to do the.
Okay. Well, hit the buttons for hit the joystick.
Yeah.
No chin strap on these things. You know that.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yep. Launch.
forward like a fighter jet.
launch and ready. Oh, yes. That's right. By the way, Karl, how many people are in Team BSG Viper?
Oops.
Oops. He's launched.
He
Of
launched.
course, he's going.
Yeah,
But-
we lost
yeah,
him.
he's flying. He's out.
Either that or he got
Launched
shot
that
down by
with Power
Cylon.
Star.
Anyways.
Oh,
No, he's not getting
There we
shot
go.
down by
Because
Cylon.
Cylons
No, he's not.
rule.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of turbulence. So, Karl, if you get a chance, let us know how many. Mediocre Modeler wants to know how many people are involved in on your team.
There's George Mellis, who lives here in Houston. There's Jeff Walters and his son. We got a gentleman come from New Orleans. Like I said, and usually anybody that comes to the con that's really into it, they want to help out. So we don't turn people away because there's always
That's
something
awesome.
to do.
That is so cool. Very nice. Oh, Mr. George Zuvalos is on with us.
Yeah.
George, thank you for tuning in. We're here with Team BSG Viper. This is Karl Cullen-Schmidt and George Zuvalos.
That thing's bright.
Chris and I.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
I need to
look
turn
at
it
that.
down a little bit, but
George and I, we've been working on Once a Week for Life. The Tipsy Toaster joined us on set. I put up some pictures of the production, and I believe that Once a Week for Life is very close to wrapping. I think there might be just some B-rolls, and they have at least there's several well-known actors. One of my favorites, John Capellos, who's been in a lot of sci-fi. He was in The Expanse, and he's done a lot of stuff. He's now going to be in he's in Once a Week for Life, the motion picture that the film that Chris and I are on, and George, of course, is executive producing and wrote and directed. So thanks for tuning in, George. I don't know if you fit in that thing, man. You're almost too big, I believe, but that's to be discussed. However, George Zuvalos is starring in the Stranded Warrior. So if we haven't announced that before, this is now our big announcement. So we are very, very lucky that George is going to take the time out to be the star in the Stranded Warrior. He's going to play Captain Martin, and we're looking forward to our May dates to shoot. And thank you, George, for tuning in. But Karl, I mean, I haven't seen the Viper. I've seen pictures of it. I haven't seen it in person. And just by seeing what's there now, it's impressionable. I mean, it's very cool. It is. It's a labor of love. And you've been with us before on the show, but we want to have you back again. And I want to go back into the background and the lore of your Viper and the shows. We'll do a whole thing on it with pictures. So it's kind of cool that we get to see. As a matter of fact, maybe we get to do something when it's all ready and outfitted. When George Mellis is done with the panels and stuff. And we get some shots of that, and have both of you.
Get some.
It would be perfect, yeah. If we could get both of you, Karl, you and George Mellis, to come on, I think it would be tremendous. And we'll do a
panel by panel. Tell me, what about this panel, and how do you do it, and what parts are in it, and that kind of stuff would be kind of cool.
George is actually he's working on a real Cora. The device that they used is like a sound tester. Mm-hmm. So George really goes beyond to try to find the original pieces that went to the Viper, and he found this test piece of equipment that is Cora. The one we have in here was made by Bionic Moon.
Okay.
And,
Oh, nice.
By
Okay.
Moon Labs,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. So that was great, and I don't,
Thanks.
what else can I say?
So cool.
Oh, there he goes. Okay, we're back.
Pesky Cylons. I mean,
That's it.
jamming the signal here.
That's it. We're stuck
But,
up the
That's right.
signal.
Bubbles.
But yeah, the first test is to get the Viper back to Alcon, get the crew out, shake the rust off, see what works. And like I said, we're always trying to improve to make the Viper better, easier to put together, knock down the time. Because really, what
Like a
it is,
NASCAR
it's for the
race.
fans.
Let's see. We put.
It basically is. I mean, we are. I mean, we are the. I call everybody the roadies
Yeah.
for the Viper. And the thing is, I told George, I said, we need to name this Viper just like they did in the new series. They gave her a name,
Star Chaser.
Yep. I don't know. We need to give her. We need to give her.
Oh
a name.
no! I mean, the one in the series was called Star Chaser, but that's
okay.
the only one that got a name. The Star Chaser. It was on the side, I think. Yeah, during when they removed all the stuff for Starbuck to go fast.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Good stuff.
we're looking. Like I said, if you're in the Dallas, Texas area, we're going to be there. And like I said, there's no cost to get in the Viper, and we want you to sit in there as long as you can. Okay.
There is
Well,
the date.
Thank you very much, Karl. Thanks for taking the time out and sharing that with us. It's a mighty, mighty cool. A lot of feedback on the chat here. Everybody likes it, of course. How could you not? So, like I said, we're going to set something up so that we can have both of you on and have a little conversation and see more of the Viper. And once the panels are all up, that's going to be fantastic. So, anybody that is going to be in the Dallas area on March 16.
Through the 19th. Yep.
That's the convention. The Viper will be there. Team BSG Viper. Karl, thank you very much. All the best, and keep the faith, buddy. That's what.
I think we're going to have a few Cylons even to try to infiltrate the cockpit here. So.
We can't get on a horse, much less a cockpit.
Well, I have tried to get into the pictures on Team BSG Viper. I've tried to get in the cockpit with the Cylon suit on. I got to the top of the boarding ladder. I'm like, nah, ain't gonna work.
That's a no-go.
That's a no-go. Nope. Abort.
Oh boy. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Karl, for you and George Mellis for all your work. And
super fans.
Here's to you guys.
Here's to you guys.
Right?
Fans.
Thank you, guys. Pete, Chris, thank you for having me on. And I look forward to seeing you guys.
All right. Take care.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you very, very much. Rob Baum says John Capello's Nick Knight. Yes, that's right. And Forever Knight. He played the sidekick to the main vampire in that, which was fantastic. And then 16 Candles Breakfast Club. I know he was in Weird Science as well. And then he did a bunch of, he's been in so many well-known. I mean, the one that's for me that I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh my God, there he is. Was in The Expanse, but he's done a whole bunch of other things. But he's now in Once a Week.
Was Mediocre on when we showed the pictures? I don't think he was.
Shape of Water. He was in Shape of Water as well. I don't know. Mediocre. We showed a picture of you doing.
Here's the knife that you made. Yeah, I don't know if you saw these. So we bragged on these and we said the knife was just so evil that it actually threatened you, and then decided to kill you. evil knives, the Cylon knives.
Man. Yes, it was imbued with a little bit of Count Ibley, man. Unbelievable. That's something, isn't it? But yeah. Well, guys, all good things. Thank you for tuning in. We really, really appreciate everybody stopping by, Mr. George Zuvalos and everybody else that have stopped in, and Karl, of course, Mr. Gaska, John One, everybody that's supporting the Stranded Warrior. Thank you very much, guys. Those of you that have shared it, there's thousands. With your help, thousands of people have actually laid eyes on the project itself. And so we thank you for sharing it and getting it out there. We're very grateful to those that are, of course, contributing in
or sharing,
whatever way you are.
Sharing,
and
contributing,
sharing. But thank you so much. We're gonna have a great time making this film, The Stranded Warrior, and with your help, of course. And it's I mean, you saw it. You saw some of the sneak peeks. You saw some of the great
cool
CGI
stuff.
that Chuck and Chris are making for us. And like I said, the script is now locked in. We made a couple of adjustments based on what our projections
are.
Capabilities and the like. We're doing, there's going to be a set amount of green screening, and we just got new sets of green screens and the special lighting that's going to go with them, because there's special lighting that has to be done. They'll be gelled. So we'll have a little documentary, a little special on behind the scenes of what goes into making a film, an independent film, and all of that. So you guys will get, I'm sure, get a kick out of it, because it has that Galactica spin to it. But
thank
you very much,
why
guys.
we did what we did.
Oh yeah. So thank you very, very much for that, guys. Really appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. We love having you on board. Keep checking clicking the thumbs up and the follow. Don't forget to tell your friends, like you guys are doing. Thank you. And if you want to contact us, best way to do that is email is info@interfreebroadcasting.com.
Yeah, I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, I did, because you can send us the IMs. That's not a problem. But I got to tell you, the email is also very powerful. I read the email just as often as I do the IMs, but email goes direct. It has like an easier path. So please keep that in mind. Stay safe. See you at our next show, guys. Of course, keep the faith, and remember, Chris.
Hey, guys, fans for the fleet, check out Indiegogo, Battlestar Galactica, Stranded Warrior. See y'all next week.